Well, welcome back to Living with a Classic, and I'm still a bit under the weather. I've quite a bad cough. Do my best to film this for you guys, but I think we'll have to do a little bit of a workshop update, and plus we have some big news. For the first time in the Living with a Classic history, I know you guys have asked for it for a few years, we're going to have a calendar. So more on that in a little bit. But I thought we'd update a little bit. I'm slowly getting back to work, working a little bit, and also I've been down in the storage unit with the help of my wife, and we figured out, yeah, there was a big issue with the XJ12 that we started looking at this summer, but we just confirmed that now. So some bad news there, but let me show you quickly what's been going on over here. We'll go down to the XJ12, and then we'll talk about the calendar. Here is an XJS convertible, which is getting a little bit of work, such as a water pump and an alternator and some other small things. It is a car that the owner is going to have redone cosmetically. It needs a paint job and a couple other things, but it runs well and it's rust free. So we're doing he wants to do the mechanical things first, which I think makes sense. So going through the coolant system, the water pump is starting to get noisy, as was the alternator, so they're being replaced. I flushed the coolant system, flushed the block and all that, so new hoses are going on, and that should be all together and ready to go back to him in the next couple of days. And then back here, continuing working on this green car here. We're in stages of polishing some of the paint and all that, so we'll be an update on it soon. Once that is polished, the engine will go in and the bonnet will go back on, and then we're going to do the vinyl roof and continue with the interior. But I've probably showed this before, but under the cover here, just so it doesn't get dirty, we have a completely rebuilt IRS with new fast road kit and everything in it. So that is going to be really, really lovely once all put back together. But let's go and have a look at the XJ12. Okay, down here with the XJ12, which is pretty much untouched since the summer, except last week when I had my wife as a helper looking inside the distributor. Took that piece of paper out there, and so basically there's one big timing chain, two camshafts, and then there's a jack shaft going in the middle for the distributor, all powered by the same timing chain. So what happened here is the distributor jump time on this car, the equivalent to 2 teeth on the bottom of the distributor. However, there's no marks on the teeth or anything that it has physically jumped. So what might have happened is something's either happened to the timing chain tensioner, even though the timing chain is really nice and quiet. Something's happened and it has allowed the jack shaft to jump, or something else has happened. But basically, that was a theory all along, and that was proven now by having her look for a little mark. If you remember correctly from previous videos, when everything is set to TDC, you can look down on the jack shaft and there is a little punch mark on it, and that's supposed to be pointing straight up, and that wasn't the case here. And we were wondering if it's even there at all, because I mean, this is British Leyland built in the 70s, you never know. But when I rotated the engine over about a quarter of a turn, we saw that mark. So continue rotating it 2 full turns just to get it back there. At the moment, nothing is damaged on this engine when it comes to valves or anything like that, which means, yes, it will be a massive tear down to get the front cover off and have a look at the timing chain and everything. I do not know. This engine could have been taken apart at some point. I don't think so. It is a low mileage car and the engine's probably not been apart. And I mean, I've had it for the last 12 years. So I do not know. So just so we don't break anything and bend valves and make this an extremely expensive thing, I'm not going to run it anymore. I'm going to wait until I have some time in the workshop, and I haven't really decided when. This car sits here in dry storage. It's not going to hurt it. And then, I mean, it's bonded off, rad support, radiator, everything on the front of the engine, water pump, everything. remove the timing cover, and have a look at the chain and tensioner and see what's happened. So it's a massive project. I don't know exactly when it's going to happen. It will definitely happen at some time because it is my favorite V12 I have. But maybe it just needs to go on the back burner a little bit because when it comes to spending time with my own cars, I don't have as much time as always as I want because, you know, running a business and I've been sick and I'm behind. But I like to focus on the XJS, the pre-HE XJS, and focus on the XJ12 Coupe probably before this one. Just because it's going to be a massive job, and I think I've driven this car quite a bit, and I'm never ever getting rid of it. So if it sits for a little bit and I can maybe start enjoying some of the other cars, I think that's going to be fine. At least that's how I feel about it right now. It's just because now in 2025 coming up, it is the 50th anniversary of a couple of cars on the fleet, like the Daily Driver XJ6, the XJS, and the XJ12 Coupe. And I want to do a thing where we quickly, this is just some leaves falling off. Today it's just all the leaves falling off, hitting the roof. When I get a chance, and everything's sort of back to normal, I want to have a quick look at the XJ12 Coupe because I don't think it would take too much besides replacing some coolant hose and flushing the coolant system, going through the brakes, and rebuilding the carbs to get that thing up and running. And on the road. It won't be perfect, but it will be out on the road and be able to enjoy it. And I think on his 50th birthday, it shouldn't be sitting down here in storage. It's been sitting since the late 80s, early 90s, and that's just a shame. So I think it deserves to be out and running next summer. So if I have some spare time over, I'd rather spend time on that than on this, which is a little sad because I wish I had unlimited time. But I work on customer cars as well, or most of the time to pay bills and all that and make interesting videos for you guys. Speaking of things for you guys, past couple of years, I've had a couple of people ask if I'm going to sell calendars, and I've never really had the time. But I've taken some help from my wife, who's really good with, a lot better than I am with photos and editing and those things. And we have actually finished editing all photos taken during this year, 2024, and putting it together in a calendar. And we should get the first copy of it in the next couple of weeks. And then I'll share that with you guys. And then it's going to be for sale on the website. And we'll see what we're going to do. Let me know in the comments down below if you're interested or not. I'm going to see if we're going to do a pre-order thing or if we're just going to print a limited supply. It's quite expensive to print them and everything. We're going to do everything we can to keep the cost down. So the more we print, of course, the cheaper they'll be. But we're really trying to keep the cost down. Also, as a new thing, we're going to try and move over most of the merch store to in-house. My wife's going to be in charge of that. So there's a whole big change going on. She's going to start working for the company as well, doing things like that. And we're also going to launch some new projects. So we're going to start with having things in-house, which are sort of one size fits all. So we're going to start with stickers, the calendar, and we're at the moment designing some hats as well. So some nice warm hats with the Living with a Classic logo on. And we're going to have more stickers and things like that in-house. And hopefully that will be something that you guys will enjoy and order a bit, because everything goes back into the channel. And I'm really trying as much as I can to keep sponsors off the channel. It's different with a big sponsor like Simple Performance, because that's a company I really stand behind. I love all their projects or all their products, and I think they really help the Jag community a lot. But I'm really trying my best not to do all the other sponsorships that a lot of channels do. It's really tempting. It pays quite a bit of money and things. But if we can keep the channel going with I have YouTube memberships, I have Patreon. So at the moment we have something like about 35 members and similar amount of patrons. It would be really nice if anyone has any spare changeover and you're able to add to membership. That always means a lot. You do get extra videos and some behind the scenes things, and mostly you just get my eternal gratitude. And yeah, try and keep sponsors thing off the channel as much as we can. And like things with the calendar and things like that, it's mostly a fun thing, but it will of course help with everything on the channel. So if you are able to, that's always really, really appreciated. trying to continue to bring you guys free entertainment as often as I can, and lots of guides and things. And like I said, trying to keep, which sponsorships I'm talking about, the VPNs and all those. Trying to keep those. I mean, you get offers every week, lots of emails and things, and it's tempting, but I'm trying to keep those off the channel. Anyways, so yeah, calendar's coming up really soon. You can, we'll do a little sneak peek when we get the first copy and show a little bit of it, but the photos have turned out really, really nice, and it's a mixture of, we have pretty much every single car in the fleet in there, plus some of my friends' cars as well, and we have nice snow pictures. We have just the whole season. We just took a new October picture right now, which was the last one. So now we have every season, and there's cars and there's tinkering and there's other things going on. So lots of fun things. But anyways, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with friends. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. It really does help out a lot. Until next time, I'm Adam. This was Living with a Classic. I'll see you soon.